Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to unwrap the story behind a Christmas carol you think you know, but it's actually about so much more than a snowy night. It's really a masterclass in leadership. And get this, it took almost 1,000 years to write.
Okay, so we've all hummed along to Good King Wenceslas, right? It's one of those songs you just know. But I'm willing to bet you didn't realize that hidden inside those simple verses is this incredibly powerful story about leadership, about faith, and, well, about what it truly means to be charitable.
So to really get this carol, you have to understand what it is and what it isn't. It's not just one song written at one time. Nope. It's more like a fascinating historical mashup. You've got three totally separate pieces, each from a different century, all coming together.
I mean, just look at this timeline. It's kind of wild. You've got a saint from the 10th century, then hundreds of years later, a popular spring tune from the 16th century, and then fast forward to the 19th century, and an English priest writes the lyrics that pull it all together. Think about that. Three completely different things, separated by almost a millennium, combined to create one of the most famous carols ever. That's just wow.
Okay, so now we know how the song was made. Let's actually dive into the story itself. The guy who wrote the lyrics, John Mason Neal, he's really clever here. He doesn't just throw us into some generic Christmas scene. No, he's very deliberately setting a moral stage for everything that's about to happen.
Right from the get-go, the song hits us with two super important details. And they're not just there to paint a pretty Christmas picture, The date and the weather, they are absolutely central to what this whole song is trying to say.
So yeah, from the very first verse, the carol is basically screaming at us, hey, this is about deep faith and real hardship. The Feast of Stephen, that's not just a random day after Christmas. It's the day of the first Christian martyr. So right away, the king's actions are being linked to this long history of faith and sacrifice. And that harsh, brutal winter, well, that's a symbol for real human suffering, the kind that cries out for help.
And this is where we get our first real glimpse of the king's character. See, he doesn't just look out, see a poor guy, and think, oh, that's a shame. Not at all. He immediately takes the first step towards doing something. He starts asking questions. He actually wants to understand the situation.
And notice he brings his page into it. Wenceslas is doing two things at once here. First, he's showing that true compassion isn't just a feeling. It starts with actually trying to learn about someone else's problems. And second, he's mentoring his page. He's teaching by example. This isn't just a one-man show.
All right, and here's the moment where good intentions become real solid action. He doesn't just say, hey, go help that guy. No, he's very specific. He orders meat, wine, and pine logs for a fire. These are practical, life-saving things. He's thinking about the man's complete and total well-being, from a hot meal to a warm house.
And this right here is the absolute heart of the message. The king says, thou and I, when we bear them thither. Did you catch that? We. He's not delegating. He's not sending some servant to do the dirty work. He is personally going out into that brutal storm. It's the huge difference between, say, writing a check and actually showing up to help someone move on a rainy day.
Okay, so now the story really kicks into high gear. This is the dramatic center of it all. The king and his page, they've got the food and the wine and the logs, but now they have to face the real-world challenge of actually doing the good deed when it is incredibly difficult.
And the page's reaction? I think we can all relate to this. His struggle is totally universal. It's that moment we've all had, right? When our good intentions just get slammed by how hard something actually is, and you're so tempted to just quit. The wind and the dark, they're not just weather. They're symbols for that adversity.
This contrast between the two of them is really the key lesson on leadership in this whole song. The page is, well, he's us. He's all of us when we start to lose hope. But the king? He models that steady, calm guidance you need to push through and actually finish what you started.
And the king's response here is frankly genius. He doesn't just give some cheap pep talk like, come on, you can do it. Nope. He offers a real, practical, tangible solution that's based on his own example. He literally says, follow me. Step exactly where I'm stepping.
So, what's going on with the warm footprints? This isn't some magic trick. It's the central miracle of the carol, but it's really a powerful metaphor. The heat symbolizes the inner strength and courage we find when we follow a good example. It's that warmth you get from knowing you're on the right path, leaning on the strength of a true leader that helps you get through the cold.
So, after this whole incredible journey through the snow, we get to the very last verse. And this is where the songwriter, John Mason Neal, basically breaks the fourth wall. He stops telling a story about a king long ago and starts speaking directly to us, making the whole point of the song crystal clear.
And there you have it. That's the punchline. The story's done, and here's the moral. Plain and simple. This one verse takes a story that's over 1,000 years old about a duke in Bohemia and turns it into a direct instruction for how we should live our lives right here and right now.
So, when you really boil it all down, what is this carol about? It's basically a masterclass in what it means to put your faith into action. It's teaching us that true belief isn't just a thought or a feeling, it's something you do. It's about leadership, it's about pushing through when things get tough, and it's about this deep, profound connection between helping others and, in turn, being blessed yourself.
So in the end, the story of Good King Wenceslas really isn't just about a snowy night that happened centuries ago. It leaves all of us with a pretty challenging question, doesn't it? It's one thing to give, but are we willing to go? The carol is really asking us to think about not just what we're willing to donate from a distance, but where we are willing to walk, maybe even out into the cold ourselves, to personally be there for someone who needs help.